here are the table of contents and a small introduction, some general points about the bear family and the evolution of the bears, the anatomy, and there are many interesting things we are going to discuss today, and I hope you will enjoy it. Okay, so here comes the introduction to the bear family. So what do you think? Can anyone tell about the bears? Just the general things, you know?
Their genus name is Ursus.
Yes. What else you know about the bear?
They have an excellent sense of smell.
Yes, very good.
Bears have paws. Bears have big paws.
Oh yes. Okay, then let's
And live in a wide range of habitats.
Bears can climb trees really good.
of course.
And live in a wide range of habitats.
Okay, then let's
hibernate.
yes, okay, let's move on to the explanations. And bears are mammals. Okay. So, as you answered before, do you have any idea who's a mammal?
Mammals are who take milk from their mother.
Yes.
They have fur.
They have mammary
Yeah.
glands.
They lay babies.
Yes. Oh yes. Okay. Yeah. It's a mammal is one who grow up their life from the nourishment of the milk which secreted from their mother's mammary glands. Okay. The milk secreted from the mammary glands of their mothers. Okay. So then let's move on to the next point. Okay, the mammals can be as small up to 8 feet of long and more than 450 of weight. Okay, the smallest of the bear family is who? Which one? Is the
Red
sun bear. And the largest is who?
Polar bear.
The largest member is polar bear. Good. And when considering about the distribution, they are found throughout North America, South America, Europe, and Asian countries such as, what are the Asian countries we can find bears?
Sri Lanka.
Of course, yes. What else?
China, India,
Yeah. So where can we find pandas?
China.
China.
They are native to
China.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Okay, so then let's move on to the morphological characters of the bears. Okay, so they have non-retractable claws. That means they can't retract their claws occasionally according to the time. Okay, their claws are non-retractable. And what about their ears? They are small and rounded ears. It's a common feature of the bear family members. Okay. So they have small eyes and very short tails. Okay. And what about the fur of the bear? Some have very long, rough fur, and some have a thin layer of fur. But almost all the bears have a layer of fur. Okay. As someone mentioned before, out of you, they have an excellent sense of smell. That's the special feature of the bear family. Okay. And what about their lifespan? And in the wild, they can only 25 years of age is the maximum lifetime. And when finding in the captivities, they can live long up to about 50 years of old. Okay. And then finally, their range of habitats. They are having a wide range of habitats, from the deep forests and inland wetlands, and also in deserts, rainforests. What else? Also in the marine oceanic areas, marine coastal areas
Polar
also
regions.
we can find bears. So
Is in polar
you can
regions.
see there's a wide, of course. So you
Yes,
can
we
find
can
them
see
in
bears in the
wide,
polar regions.
yeah. Okay. Then let's move into the evolution. We can see, and here comes the evolution of bears. Okay, the evolution of bears is a vast topic and a lot interesting one, but I have to make it simple due to the time limitations. Okay, so I suggest you to find more interesting things about the evolve of bears on the references I have mentioned below. Okay, but here is the brief of the evolution. Um, the evolution of bears started around the 30 million years ago, as the scientists say. The evolution started about 30 million years ago, and it was during the late Oligocene and the early Miocene ages. Okay, so um, the ancestors of the bear family evolved into a family of small mammals known as the myocetes. Okay, so these myocetes, the first ancestor myocete, also again divided into two groups. One is ursids and the other one is small bears, which is also known as the canines. Okay, and uh, the ursids, the bears, the ursids are the ones we're talking about today. Okay, these ancestor ursids developed as a separate family, and the outcome is the bear family that we talk in the present. Okay, so here is the um, evolution tree in the simple form of the bears. Okay, you can see in your left corner the Oligocene, the late Oligocene age, and the Miocene age, and started from the ancestor carnivores. It is dividing into ursids and Polycyanidae, that means the canids. And the ursids, as I tell you before, again became separately became as into the bear family likewise. Okay, so that's the end of the evolution anatomy. Okay, so what do you think? What is the body shape of the bears? Do you have any
Miss,
idea about that?
Miss, the
Yeah,
short-faced bear is an ancestor of bears, right? The
of
short-faced
course.
bear.
Yeah. But you're correct. Uh, so, do you have any points to say the anatomy, the body shape, and all about the bears?
They have a slender snout.
What you see? Of course, yes. What else? Do
They are
anyone have?
bulky bodies.
Of course, yes. Okay. Then when goes to the anatomy, the sudden we can see the first point is they are bulky body. They are very bulky and robust animals. Okay. But relatively to the bulky body, they have short limbs with thick bones. Okay. That's because to support their bulky body. Okay, the limbs, short limbs with thick bones are used for to support their bulky body. And what about unlike all? Okay, so Do you have any idea about the plantigrade locomotion? Anyone have? Hello. Do anyone know about? Okay, then I'll explain. So the plantigrade locomotion means that walking with the toes and the metatarsals flat on the ground. Okay, that's simply the plantigrade, and I just suggest you to find more points on my references. Okay, so and when goes to their claws, they are very sharp and often used capture prey and to climb trees. Okay, and there's a uniqueness on pandas. Okay, what's that uniqueness? What is
Miss,
the
they are the
uniqueness
only member of the bear family who are not carnivorous.
Of course, well done. Okay, the pandas are unique. Okay, because of that food pattern of the pandas, they only eat bamboo shoots. There's something adapted in that animal in order to support his feeding pattern. That is, they are having a bony extension on their wrist of the front feet. Okay, so it is act as a thumb. It is the pandas have a unique feature, that is they are having a bony extension on their wrist of the front. As what? It acts as many other carnivores. There's an important point, that is the bears have color vision, perhaps to help them distinguish the ripe nuts and fruits. Okay, so the final point of the anatomy, it's important. Okay, the special feature of a bear, that is they are evolved as able to thrive in given conditions. As I mentioned before, look at the pandas. Uh, even at the bear family, they are only plant eaters. Okay, and for that they have adapted with a bony extension. Okay, good. So I have a question for you. Okay, can anyone tell me how many members are there in the bear family? Do you have any idea about that?
I think it's 6. I'm not sure.
In the bear family. Yeah, there are 8 family members. Okay, you can see here the 8 bear species in the world. There are 8 bear species in the world. Okay.
This is the red panda type of bear.
The first number. Sorry.
This is the red panda type
No,
of
the
bear.
red panda.
It's its own thing, like it has
No,
its own
it's
thing.
not. Yeah, it seems like a bear, but he's not belongs to the bear family. It's called a canine. Okay. So
Okay,
there
miss.
are only 8 species in the bear family in the world. Okay.
Yes, but earlier it was thought that it belonged to the bear
So
family.
here are those members, and the number 1. Oh yes, during the evolution period, these 8 bear species separately evolved. Okay.
Okay, miss.
Both the canids and the ursids, I already mentioned at the evolution status, both of them came from the same ancestor, and then the ursids separated. Okay, they went on another path. Okay, so what are the features? Small ears, a light color crescent on it. Who's in the number 2 picture? Hello.
Asian black bear.
Who's in the number 2?
Giant panda.
Giant panda.
Yes. Good. And who's in the third picture?
American black bear.
Good. Yes, good. And who's in the fourth picture?
Polar bear.
Good. And who's this? He's somewhat cute looking.
Spectacled bear.
Spectacled bear. Good. And who's this? Number 6?
Sloth bear.
Yeah.
Yes. And who's this?
Brown bear.
Yeah.
Grizzly bear.
And
Sun bear.
Honey bear.
yes,
Sun
who's
bear.
this?
Sun bear.
Sun bear.
Yeah, sun bear. Oh, we can say, yeah, we can say sun bear or honey bear. Okay.
Means that's the smallest
Then
species, right?
let's move on to the most interesting part. Slides. Okay. The sun bear is the
Mr. Brown.
smallest. And can anyone tell? Sorry.
Mr. Brown bear is divided into subspecies, right?
Of course, all of these have subspecies. Okay. So, who's the largest among the bear family?
Polar bear.
Polar bear.
Well done. Okay, good. Then let's move on to the interesting parts about this single family members. Okay. Here comes the American black bear. But you can see it's totally black, right? And have small ears, somewhat lengthy snout. Okay. And seems he's somewhat larger than the other family members. Okay, so the scientific name is Ursus americanus. The scientific name is Ursus americanus. So, least concern. That means what?
Sometimes it comes into American backyards, right?
Yeah, of course. And they are very interrupting ones for the farmers of the country. Okay. So least concern. This is a least concern species in the
Are they
IUCN
dangerous to humans?
Of course, they are dangerous to the humans. Okay. Then look at the coat color of the bear. It is ranges from the black, and also there are some have various shades of brown. Even in a small litter, they have various shades of the brown or black. Okay. And they are native to Canada, Mexico, and yes.
What's the average lifespan of American black bear?
It may be actually not saying about the American black bear. When considering all of the bear family members, it's about 20 years minimum at the wildlife, and when at the captives, it can be up to 50 years of old. Okay, and so they can be found in Canada, Mexico.
Means even in captivity, a bear should be kept in the right conditions to actually live 50 years. Otherwise, it will most probably die within the first year if they are kept in really bad conditions.
Of course. So actually, that's a good point. So they can be found in Canada, Mexico, and United States. And the females, their reproduction status can be beginning at the age of 3. Okay. Look at the average litter size. It's approximately 2.5 cubs per liter. Okay. And maximum up to 5, or rarely there may be 6 cubs in a litter, 1 liter. Okay. And the important point, reproductive rate in this species is the highest among the ursids. That's a good point. Their reproductive rate is the highest in the ursid family, bear family. Okay. Then comes the giant panda. Okay. The scientific name is what? Ailuropoda melanoleuca. Hello. Okay.
Yes, miss.
So they are a vulnerable species. Okay, good. They are the giant pandas are a vulnerable species mentioned in the IUCN Red List. Okay, and they are very interesting and attractive coat cover the pandas have, and that may be a reason for the popularity of the pandas, right? And they have distinctive black and white. Their body color, we will lastly at the body color. They have a black fur around their eyes and on their ear muscles, legs and shoulders, and they have a thick woolly coat. Okay, so giant
Babies
panda
look
is yeah. Okay, so they are found in China. Okay, even in the China, they are limited into Sichuan, Shaanxi, Gansu, Hunan, Hubei. They are very located in a few areas, even at the China. Okay, so there's a problem in their feeding pattern. Okay, they only eat bamboo. Okay, so they have a deficient of nutrition. There may be occur, so they have to eat large amounts of bamboo in order to keep their body in a better way. Okay, so they eat up to 12.5 kilograms per day in order to fulfill their nutritional dietary requirements. Okay, so here are the sloth bears. The sloth bears are much important for us. What's that importance?
Because they are the only bears in Sri Lanka.
What's the importance of the sloth bears for us?
Because they're the only bears
They
in Sri
live
Lanka.
in Sri Lanka.
Okay, so they are the
Nepal and
only bear
India.
species in
India,
Sri
Nepal,
Lanka.
and Sri
Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So the sloth bears. The scientific name of the sloth bears is the Melissa vulnerable according to the IUCN Red List. Okay. So what do you think? What is the color of the sloth bears? What you can see here in the picture?
Black.
They look black. Okay.
Black.
Yeah. So even you can see him as a black animal, black color coat. They also have shades of rusty brown colors. Okay. Even there may be the principal color face is black, but also there may be rusty brown color coats. Okay. So they also have a white or cream yellow crescent on their chest. Can you see it? They have a white or cream yellow crescent on their chest. Okay. And where can we see them? In India, Nepal, and Sri Lanka. Okay. So there's a point here. What's that? There are an extinct species in Bangladesh. Okay. Two numbers of cubs. Okay. So there's an important points regarding these cubs of the sloth bears. That is, in their childhood up to 9 months, the cubs often ride on their mother's back. That's because to seek the protection from the predators of the cubs. Okay. And there's another important point of sloth bears. Sloth bears are the only species of bear adapted specifically to eat ants and termites. Okay, they have comparatively long snout than the other family members. Okay, and the important thing, here comes our Sri Lankan sloth bear. We already talked about the genus sloth bears, and the Sri Lankan sloth bear is an endemic one. There's a subspecies in our country. Okay. There's the subspecies of the sloth bear called the Sri Lankan sloth bear only can find in our country. Okay. Their scientific name is Melos. They are also vulnerable according to the IUCN Red List. Okay. So what is the important thing is Sri Lankan sloth bear is endemic to race, is same as the other sloth bears. And where can you see the sloth bears in our country? Where do you visit to see the sloth bears?
Yala National
Yala.
Park.
Yes.
National Park.
Okay, good. Okay, so they are found in another. Yes. Okay, so they can be found in northern and eastern parts of the country, also in Waskamua, Vilpattu and Yala National Parks. Okay. Then goes to the brown bear, also known as grizzly bear. Okay. The scientific name is Ursa concerned species. Okay. Can you remember the other least concerned species we found before?
American
Can anyone? It's American black bear. Yeah, good. So the coat color, fur of brown shades. They have fur of brown shades. And the brown bear, the important thing is most widely distributed seed of the bear family is this brown bear. Okay. They are found in 44 locations all over the world, like Afghanistan, Canada, China, and their average litter size is 1 to 3, and rarely maybe 4 to 5. Okay. And then, what?
The smallest species of bear.
Yes,
She's like a dog. She's like a dog.
of course. Yes, of course. So, the Helarctos malayanus is the scientific name of the sun bear, and also it's also vulnerable according to the IUCN Red List. It has sleep. Okay, and what about this? They also have a crescent-shaped chest patch in their chest area. And where can we find them? Bangladesh, India, Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, and Vietnam. Okay. And they are also an extinct species in Singapore. Okay. And what the important point? The sun bears only lay a single cub during that means their litter size is only 1 cub at one time. Okay. And then here are the polar bears.
Is the sun bear dangerous?
It's not much dangerous than the other family members. Okay. So here comes the polar bears. The scientific name is Ursus maritimus. Okay. So the polar bears also vulnerable according to the IUCN Red List. Generally, they has a white appearance, but it can be yellowish and brownish colors according to the climatic conditions and where they live. Okay, so where do they live? Arctic Sea, Canada, Greenland, Norway, and that kind of areas they live. Okay, there's an important point comes here. The lowest reproductive rate is from the polar bears and often give 2 twin cubs and singleton or triplet litters. They are less frequent. And the other important point, what is that? known as the carnivores in the bear family. They are adapted to eat meat. Okay. Then comes the spectacled bear, also known as Andean bear. The scientific name is Tremarctos ornatus. It's also vulnerable in the red list. Okay. What's his complexion? Typically uniformly black in color. Their coat is black. But there also can find reddish brown individuals. Okay. And they have white or tan marks create rings around the eyes of them. Okay. These lighter markings often extend down their chest. And where can we find them? In Bolivia, Colombia, sorry. Yes, Peru, Venezuela. Yeah. Okay. But there's another important point on spectacled bears. That is only the species of the bear native to the South America. There are no other native species to the South American region. Okay. And look at its litter size. It varies from 1 to 4 with okay, they lay mostly the twins. Okay, and the Asiatic black bear, also known as Himalayan bear. The scientific name is Ursus tibetus.
Black bears love honey.
Of course, almost all the bears love honey, mostly the honey bear. I have mentioned you before the sun bear also we say. Okay, the sun bear.
Miss, there is
other than-
also a type of Himalayan bear that is
Yeah,
not
yeah.
black but brown color.
Yeah, that's a shade. That's the shade of Asiatic black
No,
bear.
miss, the Himalayan brown bear.
Yeah, that's a brown bear. Okay. So here we are going to discuss about the Asiatic black bear, the black bear species. Okay. So the Asiatic black bear have long, usually black, sometimes brown fur. Okay. And as the honey bears, and they also have a cream colored or white chest patch, and they also lived in Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Bhutan, Cambodia, China, and somewhere else. Okay, and here comes the distribution of bears in the world. Okay, as we discussed before, I have already mentioned you, and now you can see them in this map. Okay, so can you identify who's this bear? Who's this bear species?
The American black bear.
Very good. Okay, so where we can find them? They are spreaded in the northern part of America, in Canada, Mexico, and United States. Okay, and who's this?
Indian bear. The
Spectacle bear.
spectacle.
Yeah, that's spectacle. Yeah, spectacled bear. Where do he live?
In South America. South America.
It's
He's the only native species to South
he
America.
lives in South America. So this is the polar bear. He lives in here, the light blue color area, Arctic Sea, Canada, Greenland. Okay, and who's this one? Yeah, polar regions. Oh yeah. So who's this?
Grizzly bear. Brown bear. Brown bear.
Who's this?
The grizzly bear. You know,
That's
the grizzly bear.
Yes, grizzly bear. Yeah, known as brown bear. Okay, where we can see him. Oh,
In Russia and Canada,
the
most
large number of yeah.
Europe.
They are spreaded in a large area of the world. Okay, Afghanistan, Canada, China, Finland, France, India, Italy. They live in a wide range of Russia. Yeah, Russia, Canada. Yeah, good. So
Turkey.
here they also live here. Okay, and they was our friend sloth bear.
Sloth bear.
Where do he live? He lives in
Sri Lanka, India.
only in Asiatic countries, Sri Lanka, India, and Nepal. Okay, so this, this is the Asiatic black bear, and he lives where? This is sloth bear.
In Russia.
This is the sloth bear. Okay, he lives in Sri Lanka, India, and Nepal. And what about this one? This is the Asiatic black bear. He lives where? Look, the green color.
China.
These are the regions they live. Okay, and the panda, only native species of the China. He lives in only China. I mean the pandas, they live only in China. And here comes the sun bear, the smallest of the bear family. He lives in Bangladesh, India, Malaysia. No. They don't live in China. Let's move to the next slide. The behavior. Okay. The behavior, they are quadrupeds. That means they walk from their whole bodies. Okay. They are typically solitary. They are, but when considering about the mothers, they always staying with their cubs. Okay. And
You change slides.
mostly the behavior of the bears are nocturnal. Okay, but may be active during the day as well. As we all know, the bears are somewhat shy animals. Okay, the feeding patterns of the bear. Okay, bears are omnivores. That means they eat both plants and animals. Okay, but almost exclusively the polar bears eat meat, and the giant pandas almost eat plants. But these giant pandas also eat some lizards and small insects, but not much. They are mostly fed from the bamboos. Okay, and the cubs of bears are fed by milk. And the next point, there are apples. They don't have any predators at the food
Sometimes polar
chain.
bears even
Okay.
eat whales, right?
They are in the upper position. Sorry.
Sometimes
Yeah,
polar
they
bears eat whales,
carcasses
right?
also. Yeah. They eat the carcasses of the animals also. Okay. So they feed by berries, nuts, fruits, honey, insects, roots, a wide range of things they eat. Okay. And what are the threats for the bears? What you can see here. Just refer this graph. What you can see here.
Dead bear.
Yeah. No, I'm telling you this graph. Okay. Mostly the main threat to the bears is the loss of their habitats. Even in many points, smallholder farming, agro-industry farming, roads and railroads making, okay, many kind of things causes into one point as habitat loss to the bears. The major threat for the bears is the habitat loss. Okay, and there are more bears. There's a market. Okay, in traditional Chinese medicine, they use the gallbladders of the sun bears, and sloth bears are poaching for their oil. And when it comes to the sun bear cubs, they are used traded as pet. Okay, and also there are farms of sun bear, Asiatic black bears in China and Vietnam. That's to collect the bile of the bear. Okay, and there are furthermore due to climatic changes that's affect to the polar bears, and also they are poaching for meat and clothes and small scale handicrafts. So there are the threats for the bear family members. Okay, and what is the conservation status of bears? Okay, that's a good as an endangered species in the 2008, but now that's a good trend. They have become vulnerable. From the endangered, they have become vulnerable. Okay, and here's the red list categorized. Okay, from the 66%, they are vulnerable. Over these species, all are vulnerable. And least concern are only 2. They are brown bears and American black bears. Okay, so this is the conservation status of the bears. Okay, and here are the references I have made. I feel it's more important for you. This is and use the references for more information. And finally, this is the end of my presentation.